Everyone, I would like you to please welcome our next set of guests. These are Allison and Tim. They have been married for 3 years, and they've hit a rough patch in their relationship. So, we're going to try to do what we do with all couples on this program. We're going to try to help them work through their cultural, racial, and, quite frankly, species differences. Now, as you can see, Allison and Tim are both white, and they both appear to be human. Well, that's not entirely the case. Allison is a Sumjack and is considerably older than Tim by approximately 200 years. Now, for those of you out there who are unaware of the term Sumjack, it's basically a polite way of saying vampire. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I do have to stress that this show is being taped during daylight hours. And so Allison's powers are greatly diminished during daylight hours. Please keep that in mind. She's not going to turn into dust and blow away, but at the same time, it's not as though she's a threat to any of you here. And keep in mind, Allison has come here willingly to work with her husband on their marriage issues. So please keep in mind, Sumjack is a polite term for vampire. Allison, Tim, welcome. Now, Tim, I'm guessing you're really into older women. Yes, well, it's good to see that both of you smiled at that lame joke. Now, Allison, I'll start with you. According to you, what seems to be the main issue? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. So you are upset that even though you married Tim and you've done everything to make him happy in the kitchen, the bedroom, in your entire relationship, Tim, well, he refuses to be transformed into a vampire. And that's something important to you. And that's something that the two of you discussed before getting married. I see. Tim, how do you respond to that? Mm-hmm. 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 All right. So is it the transformation process that frightens you? Or is it something more severe? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So Allison, is it true that you have a bit of a temper? Okay, you do, but you're working on it. All right, so you've gone to another psychiatrist. Uh-huh. Oh, a subject psychiatrist. Yes. And according to you, you're making slow but steady progress. I see. Tim, would you agree with that? Is your wife making slow but at least steady progress? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. But when she gets upset at night, her eyes glow red, her fangs come out, and you become terrified of your own wife. So according to you, you sometimes have to walk around on eggshells when she gets into an angry mood. All right. Now, Allison, is that true? Mm-hmm. Oh, so you rarely get upset at your husband. It's other people who upset you. I see. I see. So you get very upset, you get angry, you shout, your eyes glow red, and your fangs come out. Oh, and so do your claws. Okay. But it's not as though you've ever lashed out at your husband. I see. Um, Tim, let me ask you this. Is it frightening when your wife becomes angry? Uh-huh. Well, the thing is, Allison, perhaps you're not noticing it, but you have to keep in mind your husband is human. And when you get angry and your eyes glow red and your fangs come out and your claws come out, late at night in a dark room, that can be a incredibly frightening sight for a human being to behold, even if he is a loved one, or in this case, your husband. Um, can you acknowledge that it would be very frightening for someone who's not used to that? Okay, okay, that's good. I think we're making progress. Yes, yes. Tim, could you try to keep in mind that your wife isn't angry at you, and that when she does get angry, she doesn't physically lash out at you? Could you try to keep that in mind? Okay, good, good. In that case, Tim, I'm going to ask you about the other issue in your relationship. Now, did you promise your wife that you would allow yourself to be transformed into a sumjack? You did, and you have every intention of keeping that promise. But your wife scares you, except during daylight hours. Well, I mean, you have to keep something in mind, Tim. Your wife is the very same person you married, whether the sun is up or down. The difference is she just has mystical powers, increased strength and agility, and other abilities which she doesn't have when she's walking around in the daylight. And in fact, in daylight, she feels quite weak and needs to lean on you for support. Okay, I was not expecting that. Allison, were you aware that he likes it when you lean on him for support during daylight hours, and that he feels useless and worthless when the sun goes down and you're able to do things on your own? You were not aware of that. Okay. Tim, the fact that you seem to prefer your wife in a weakened state during daylight hours, does that make you a bad person? I mean, honestly, yes. Yes, it does. You see, Tim, that is your hang-up, not your wife's. And that's something you're going to have to work on. Allison, are you upset by that revelation? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you actually like it when your husband takes charge and you can lean on him and he takes care of you. He takes care of everything. You like that, but that only happens during daylight hours because at night, I mean, if you wanted to, you could break him in half, literally. Obviously, I'm not saying that you want to. I mean, what's really the issue, Tim, with regards to not allowing your wife to transform you into a vampire? I mean, it's not like you won't be able to walk outside in the daylight. And quite frankly, Tim, this would solve the problem. Because according to your wife, she likes it when you're in charge. She likes it when you're the dominant one, and you like it as well. When you stop to think about it, if you go through with the transformation process, this would solve the problem because you would be able to dominate your wife during daylight hours because, well, you're the man in the relationship. You'd still be physically stronger than she is. And at night, when the sun goes down and your vampiric powers return to you, you'd still be stronger than your wife, and you'd be able to dominate her, and you'd be the man of the relationship. So, honestly, Tim, the best thing you could do is to get over this hang-up about the transformation process. I mean, if you allow yourself to be transformed, this will solve the problem completely. You would be the dominant one 24/7. Yes. Now, Allison, I think the reason why Tim is hesitant is because perhaps you haven't fully explained the transformation process to him, how it works. If you go step by step by step, I think your husband, Tim, would be less averse. Well, yes, I know he did promise that he would let you transform him into a sumjack, but it's not as though you both agreed to a timeline. Yes, that's just the air freshener in the studio. I apologize for how loud it is. Yes. So, my idea is that the two of you sit down with our counselor backstage and have a talk with him. Let Tim express his concerns about the transformation process once you explain it to him, and then help him through it step by step. And I think once you do that, Tim will be ready to absolutely, fully commit to the process and thus fully commit to you and this relationship and this marriage. Yes, I think it would be very mutually beneficial. What do you say, Tim? Well, I'm glad to hear you agree with me. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our guests. And on tomorrow's program, we're going to have Jennifer and Tommy. Jennifer is human. Tommy, well, he's the type of individual that we've never had on this show before. But don't worry, I promise everything will be safe, as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a good night, and keep in mind, whether you're black or white or anything, the heart wants what it wants. Thank you.